Hi everyone. In this video we will talk about 3 big companies bought Bitcoin in 2020-2021 and will continue to buy more. So before starting this video, please like it and subscribe to our channel for the future updates. Despite the stock market's unprecedented volatility in 2020, investors have been well treated since the bear market's bottom on March 23, 2020. The Nasdaq Composite has nearly doubled in value, while the P500 has increased by 74%. These are massive moves that have rewarded patient equity investors handsomely. However, neither of these moves compare to what Bitcoin, BTC, the world's largest cryptocurrency, has accomplished since the bear market bottom and over the preceding 5 years. Since the March 23 low, Bitcoin has more than quadrupled the Nasdaq Composite's gains and is up a whopping 11,510% on a 5-year basis, through March 1, 2021. That's more than 100 times better than the S&P 500's total return, including dividends, since March 1, 2016. But it isn't just investors who have taken notice of the world's most popular cryptocurrency. Since the summer, 3 publicly traded companies have amassed billions in Bitcoin. Tesla Motors. $1.5 billion. Tesla Motors, Nasdaq, TSLA, announced in a filing with the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, on February 8, that it had purchased $1.5 billion in Bitcoin for its balance sheet and would soon be accepting Bitcoin as a form of payment, where permitted by law. It's also possible that the company will keep the Bitcoin it receives as payment rather than selling it. Tesla had nearly $19.4 billion in cash and cash equivalents at the end of 2020, implying that Bitcoin accounted for less than 8% of its total capital. We updated our investment policy in January 2021 to provide us with more flexibility to further diversify and maximize returns on our cash that is not required to maintain adequate operating liquidity, according to the SEC filing. To put it another way, this $1.5 billion isn't going to make or break Tesla. Given how open CEO Elon Musk has been about his support for Bitcoin, the move isn't entirely surprising. In recent weeks, he has tweeted support for Bitcoin and Dogecoin after briefly adding the Bitcoin hashtag to his Twitter profile. The most interesting aspect of Tesla's Bitcoin holdings is how they're recorded under accounting rules. Indefinite-lived intangible assets are what digital assets are referred to as. In plain English, this means that unless Tesla sells some or all of its Bitcoin holdings, it will not be able to recognize any gains. However, Tesla will be required to recognize impairment charges under accounting rules if the value of their Bitcoin declines, even if the company chooses not to sell it, and this is a big however. Tesla warned in its SEC filing that holding Bitcoin for a long time could harm the company's profitability. PayPal unveiled its vision for the future of its digital wallet platform, as well as the PayPal and Venmo apps, this week. During the company's third-quarter earnings call on Monday, the company said it plans to make significant changes to its mobile apps over the next year, including enhanced direct deposit, check cashing, budgeting tools, bill pay, crypto support, subscription management, buy now, pay later functionality, and all of Honey's shopping tools. PayPal announced that Bill Pay will begin rolling out this month, with a major redesign of the digital wallet experience planned for the first half of 2021. Much of the new functionality will be available in the second quarter and second half of the year, with the majority of the changes expected to be implemented by the end of the year. PayPal's cryptocurrency plans, which were announced at the end of October, are included in this. In the beginning, the company intends to support Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, and Litecoin in the United States. During the earnings call, Schulman also mentioned when PayPal plans to expand its crypto offerings to more users and geographies. He stated that the ability to buy, sell, and hold cryptocurrencies will first be available in the United States, before expanding to international markets and the Venmo app in the first half of 2019. At the moment, PayPal users in the United States can sign up for a waitlist for the new crypto features in the app. This change will allow PayPal users to shop with cryptocurrencies across the company's 28 million merchants without the need for merchants to add additional integrations. This is due to the way the company will handle the settlement process, in which users will be able to instantly convert crypto into fiat currency at a predetermined rate when shopping with PayPal merchants. This solution will fundamentally bolster the utility of cryptocurrencies by eliminating any additional integrations, volatility risk, or incremental transaction fees for both consumers and merchants, Schulman said. As we work hand in hand with regulators to accept new forms of digital currencies, this is just the beginning of the opportunities we see, he added. PayPal has also recently entered the Buy Now, Pay Later race with its new Pay in 4 installment program, which allows customers to divide purchases into 4 payments. This made its debut in France before launching in the United States in late August, and it has since expanded to the United Kingdom as Pay in 3. In the coming months, this, too, will become more integrated into the company's apps. Square. $220 million Square, a payments facilitator, is a third company that has been snatching up Bitcoin, NYSE, SQ. Square spent $50 million in the third quarter of 2020 to purchase 4,709 Bitcoin. In the last few weeks, Jack Dorsey's company purchased another 3,318 Bitcoins for a total of $170 million. At the time of writing, this recent purchase is approximately $3,000 in debt. The October purchase, on the other hand, has grown in value by more than fourfold. In total, Bitcoin now accounts for 5% of Square's $4.4 billion in assets. The majority of people are familiar with Square because of its seller ecosystem. If you've ever made a purchase from a small retailer or a local business, there's a good chance you've used Square's point-of-sale devices to complete the transaction. Square's gross payment volume increased modestly to $112.3 billion in 2020, despite the worst economic downturn in decades. Square's fast-growing peer-to-peer payment platform Cash App, however, appears to be the real reason for the company's increasing ties to Bitcoin. Cash App's monthly active user count has increased from 7 million to 36 million since the end of 2017. Though Square earns money from merchant fees, transfer fees, and investment fees through Cash App, the Bitcoin exchange has proven to be particularly popular. In the full year of 2020, Bitcoin was responsible for $4.57 billion in Cash App revenue. This is a ninefold increase over the previous year's figure. As a shareholder in Square, I'm unconcerned about the fact that Bitcoin accounts for 5% of the company's assets. The seller ecosystem is generating a lot of positive cash flow, and Cash App's other services are bringing in much higher profit margins than the Bitcoin exchange. In other words, even if Bitcoin underperforms, ancillary cryptocurrency stocks such as Square will still do well. 2020 was unforgettable, especially for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is resilient, predictable, and it has an algorithmic monetary policy. That means everybody knew the third halving was coming this year. And with a lower supply comes higher prices. Bitcoin's adoption rate is steadily increasing. Deep-pocketed investors are buying at a time when supply is becoming increasingly scarce. The writing on the wall can be seen without the use of complicated models. You don't have to be a genius to see how all of this will drive the price of Bitcoin up to the point where it will seriously compete with gold in terms of market capitalization. According to Lee, the year 2021 will be similar to 2017 in terms of Bitcoin's parabolic rise. In a note published on Wednesday, Fundstrat's digital asset strategist David Gerder raised his forecast for Bitcoin, predicting that it will hit at least $40,000 next year. We believe the conditions for a continued rally in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency in general over the next 6 to 12 months are still in place. A rise in positive momentum has been fueled by institutional and corporate buying, regulatory de-risking, and retail stimulus demand, all of which we believe will continue, Grider explained. According to Lee, the positive outlook for Bitcoin could deteriorate if the stock market corrects next year. Bitcoin appears to be an unbalanced wager. If you only invest what you can afford to lose, you'll have a lower risk of losing money and a higher chance of making a profit. Bitcoin appears to be poised to outperform in 2021, owing to its network effects, growing adoption, supply shock following this year's halving, and a volatile macro backdrop. How much longer are you going to sit on the bench? What do you think of our list? Do you know any other that we didn't mention? Let us know in the comment section below. If you enjoy this video and want to hear from us again, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications before you go. Thanks for watching.